For just a moment, downtown Green Bay fell silent. But hours later, that peace was disrupted.
They started off throwing blanks and flash bombs, and next thing we know, we were surprised with tear gas.
Ashley, I can hear it in your voice. You can barely breathe.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
It was horrible. It burned my eyes, my face. It got in my mouth. It was horrible.
Ashley Gleason and Giovanna Leffler attended one of the weekend's peaceful protests, marches that ended with no arrests and no damage. It just wasn't the case Sunday night. Some protesters blame law enforcement for the marches turning violent. But Lieutenant Clinton Bagoon with Green Bay Police says the only reason anyone finds themselves in handcuffs is by breaking the law.
The reason the young lady was arrested out of the crowd earlier was she was yelling threats at us. We're allowed to peacefully protest, stay on the sidewalks, have your signs, walk up and down all you want, but we're not going to have looting at businesses. We're not going to have people breaking windows, throwing rocks, and making threats.
Sunday night was the first time officers used tear gas on George Floyd protesters. Bagoon hopes it's the last.
This is a peaceful city, and it's peaceful protest for the most part, but it's that small portion that are giving everybody a bad name and doing the damage here. So what we're going to start doing is start singling out the people that are doing illegal activity, and they're going to start going to jail.
But as marches continue, there's no guarantee protests will remain peaceful. In Green Bay, Kia Murray, Fox 11 News.
First time in more than a year, the Fox Valley Symphony Orchestra is preparing for its upcoming season.
Rehearsals are starting up once again this weekend. Fox 11's Katrina Nickel has more on this long-awaited season.
Ronna Swift is a 55-year veteran to the Fox Valley Symphony Orchestra. She's a former music teacher and plays double bass. But when she thinks about the last 14 months, there wasn't a lot of strumming coming from that bass.
My bass sat there and I looked at it longingly and played it once in a while.
Now her and 35 others are back together for their first weekend of practice.
I just finished my vaccinations and I'm getting around and about, and to make music with other people is much more fun.
It's a similar feeling that brings a smile to conductor Kevin Suderland's face that you can see even underneath the mask.
It's of course what we live for as musicians, is to make music and express ourselves through our music. So it's really meaningful and kind of emotional to be back right now rehearsing after over a year.
The orchestra is making it work by following what many are now used to: masking, social distancing, and then other things that only an orchestra would have to consider.
Every 40 minutes we take a 12-minute ventilation break.
The group is also missing a few instruments you may have seen in the past, such as bass trombone, which Eric Larson usually plays.
Singing and wind and brass instruments obviously have other considerations because of blowing through the instruments and airflow and things of that nature.
As for what to expect during performances, the upcoming season will be a tribute to everything the Fox Valley and world have been through during the pandemic.
This upcoming season is going to be a celebration of the people in our community. It's a celebration of science. It's a celebration of human resilience.
In Appleton, Katrina Nickel, Fox 11 News.
As a Packer fan, I'm selfish. I want 80,000 Packer fans in there. I don't want any 49ers fans tonight.
Kyle Cousineau is a staple on game days in the Packers parking lot, and every day among the team's fans on Twitter.
I'm just kind of a man of the people, if you will.
Cousineau used his nearly 10,000 follower platform of mostly Packers fans this week to try to keep 49ers fans out of Lambeau Field. People with tickets to sell would message him with the understanding he'd help sell them only to Packers fans.
Probably 8-9 years ago, I saw all these people posting that they were selling tickets on the secondary market to opposing fans, and it kind of ticked me off a little bit. I'm just doing it to get Packer fans into Lambeau Field.
Despite Cousineau's efforts, the attraction of getting top dollar selling tickets on websites like StubHub means Green and Gold won't be sitting in every seat Saturday night.
The ease of being able to purchase and sell tickets on the secondary market has certainly made it a lot easier for fans to travel to and from games.
Adam Bedelli of StubHub says 24% of the website's sales for the Packers 49ers game have come from California. 18% have come from Wisconsin.
We're talking about two national fan bases, so it's always hard to really decipher which fan is buying from which state, but it's fair to assume that there will be a large contingency of red in the stands.
As long as you can't hear any of the red in the stands,
Yeah, right on.
Cousineau says he'll consider this week's work to be well worth it.
You know, when they're having fun celebrating their touchdowns and stuff like that in our stadium, like it's offensive.
Feel the same way.
As chaos continues to unfold through the air and on the streets of Ukraine, Door County Candle Company is offering a helping hand.
I looked at it as bringing light to Ukraine and unity and being able to share a little part of Ukraine and bring it into people's homes to raise that awareness.
Owner Christiana Gorchinsky-Trapani is 100% Ukrainian. Just 2 days into the fundraiser, more than 5,000 candles have already been purchased. Razom for Ukraine will be receiving the funds. Razom translated means together, the message Christiana conveys. This is the scene from her family's home in the western part of Ukraine. Helicopters fly above, shooting flares out of the sides.
That was the hardest part was getting a video of bombings right outside their home, and them just recording it and hearing them cry in the video was gut-wrenching.
While Christiana's family is alive and safe at the moment, things can change in an instant.
Are they going to try to escape to somewhere safer to the west?
I think they are planning on staying and just trying to wait it out, stay in. So we'll see though. That's everyday changes, but right now they're planning on staying.
The scent of the candle is vanilla, something that Christiana says brings comfort even in the darkest of times.
The orders they're receiving go far beyond initial goals.
We've well surpassed my goal of $10,000. That was my goal, and I was like, it'd be great to even get 1,000, but 10,000 would be awesome. So I know we've well surpassed that.
Previous owner of the shop, Mark Felhofer, came out of retirement, offering his expertise with a high demand for orders, which made their website crash.
We're getting orders from all over. Everybody sincerely wants to help in any way they can. And it's just very heartwarming and humbling.
In Door County, Nick Harrington, Fox 11 News.
Tonight it is Game 5 between the Bucks and the Bulls, and Milwaukee is looking to close out the series. Cody Krupp is live for us from the Pfizer Forum. Chicago will be without some of its key players, Cody.
Yeah, Michelle, compared to last Wednesday night in Pfizer Forum, quite a different feeling going into Game 5. When they left Milwaukee, of course, those Bulls tied the series. Also injured was Chris Middleton and Bobby Portis. So you could say there was a little bit of a worry, but those Bucks, they went out then and dominated games 3 and 4. Now here they are back at home where they haven't been since last Wednesday, and it is the Bulls. They're going to be without Alex Caruso and Zach LaVine. Those are two big pieces to that upset victory in Game 2. It's just less weapons to take out what has been a swarming Bucks defense. Easily by far, they have been the best defensive rated unit in these playoffs. They've held the Bulls to under 100 points in 3 or 4 contests. Also under 40% shooting. So up 3-1 in this series, a comfortable position for the Bucks, but they are not looking forward yet to those Celtics.
I think there's just a competitiveness and activity right now that's just gone to another level, that's in a good place, that you got to have to be good defensively. I mean, whenever you have a chance to close out a series, it's important. You know, nobody wants their season to be done, and everybody wants to advance and go on. So these games are they're the hardest, and I think you know, our guys got to understand that and be ready, and we feel like they will be.
It's going to be a hell of a game, and you know, we just got to keep our mind one quarter at a time, one play at a time, and do it together on both ends of the court, see where the chips fall at the end.
All right, we're about 70 minutes from tip-off here in Pfizer Forum. You see Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton getting some work in. Like I said, though, the Celtics, that's who everybody's kind of looking forward to. That's going to be that second-round series. But first, the Bucks need to get by the Bulls, send them packing. They can get it done tonight here in Pfizer Forum, Game 5. Reporting here from Milwaukee, Cody Krupp, Fox 11 Sports.